All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our second matchup of the night. We just had an absolute banger of a first matchup there as Phoenix, they pull off the upset, the lowest seeded team to ever win a play-in match. They made the play-in tournament at 6-12. No one has been made the play-in tournament that low, but it didn't matter. They took the victory in Game 5, and I mean, what a thriller that was, Mallow. And we have another spicy one on the docket here as we'll be heading to the Provisional League for Brawlers versus Wolfpack. How you doing tonight, Mallow?
You know what? I'm doing well. Just a busy day, but I saw that first matchup and it was great. So excited. I hope that's a preview for all of these matches coming up, man. I'm super excited. Looking forward to the 1-2 punch that the Brawlers are going to give out, or that the pack will do to the Brawlers. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one here. And quickly before we get into this thing, let's take a look over at the play-in/playoff bracket here for the Provisional League. We saw on Monday the Mangoes taking that victory. They moved down to take on Uprising in the quarterfinals there. And then on the other side, what we're looking at tonight in play-in match 2 at the very top there, we got Brawlers versus Wolfpack. Winner goes on to Saturday night to play Agility, who lost on Monday. And the loser is going home, Mallow. So the pressure is on here to make it to that Saturday night matchup. It's win or go home, do or die. This is what you love to see at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It brings up the excitement, especially when you've played and worked so hard to get to this point. You're gonna try and do everything you can to stay in to end this thing and keep going.
Yeah, definitely so. And well, we go from the top to the bottom here as we're heading to the Provisional League, where we went from Titan, now we're into Provisional, but we got a lot of interesting players coming to light here. Some well-known names even around here as we got the Brawlers taking on Wolfpack. We are underway for the play-ins here in the Provisional League as a shot coming in from Crim Reaper there. He's joined by It's Time and Zone Killer on the Brawlers, and then on the Wolfpack, the defending champions there. They got Ace, Now I'm Salty, and Exiled Tyler there. So Mallow, what do you know about any of these players as we kind of kick things off here in Game 1?
Well, with the Brawlers, I'm definitely more familiar with some of the Brawlers, especially Time. Time was actually a sub for the Vandals a couple of seasons ago before Time did some military service for a season or season and a half, and now he's back. He improved, but because the way the MMR boundaries worked, we had some. Oh, and there's a goal by Zone there. Not sure if that was a calculated fake and he ran out of boost or what. I missed it, but
Yeah, it looks like both defenders on Wolfpack try to get up to that one, but hey, those things happen in provisionals sometimes here. Mistakes are made. It's a lot different than what you might expect from what you saw in the Titan matchup. But it's all about, again, at the end of the day, Mal, it's all about how you can capitalize on the mistakes, and I guess who's going to make the least amount of them here in the provisional league.
yeah, absolutely. And depending how much warm-up time these guys get, will depend how much they use game one to actually use it as that. You don't want to use at this point. You don't want to use a game as a warm-up in the play-ins, but sometimes it just happens. And right now they're actually pretty solid. The rotations are on point for the most part for provisional, even in general, really. So seeing what we're seeing here, and with the range of skills as far as what the MMR range is, it's a real good beginning to this series.
Yeah, good start here in the Brawlers. They are the 7 seed here in this one, coming into the provisional postseason. All the provisional teams do make the postseason, regardless, to fill up that 8-team bracket. Brawlers and Wolfpack, they both actually finished with identical records here at 3-11. So not the best seasons here, but kind of like I mentioned, Mallow, too. That's the one thing I love about the play-in tournament. We just saw Phoenix, the lowest play-in team, lowest record play-in team to ever participate. They end up with a win here. So really, Mallow, it's all about how you perform at the very end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a lot of different both sports and esports. You can do terrible for at least half the first half of the season or even second half, but if you're there when it matters in the play-ins and playoffs, that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. And both these teams looking to make their mark here, as so far in this game number 1, only 1 goal has been scored. It was a little bit of a whiff there on the side of Wolfpack, and Zone Killer getting that credit there. But the Wolfpack looking to battle back here as this ball's up in the midfield. Time looking for a touch, but Tyler is going to dive on that one as Zone Killer sending this one down in the zone. Brawlers going to pop this one if it's an opportunity. Wolfpack looking to defend there. Going to be able to get it off to the corner for a moment, but Crim Reaper shot towards the net, but it's going to be 50 down. An opportunity now for Wolfpack looking to take it up. Salty off the backboard. Its demo comes through, but this one not quite going to go away. The opportunity here. Ace is going to make the turn, and Ace is going to put it in off the passing play, and they tie it up.
Oh, Zone, I don't think Zone saw Vase or expected Ace to turn so quickly there. He just left the goal to go grab boost, I think, and he left the goal wide open.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful on those rotations, especially in the Provisional League. I know a lot of time that boost, it does look tasty. It does look like something you want to pick up, but sometimes you just gotta get in net, pick up a couple of those pads, and you defend. But Wolfpack, they're gonna be happy to tie this game number 1 up and break the ice for their postseason scoring here. As now they send this one in off the backboard. A pinch comes through. Ace looking for a second one, but just gonna go a little bit wide this time. As we're about a minute remaining here in this game number 1. Their postseason lives on the line. Salty looking to make something happen off the backboard. Here comes Ace looking for a shot, but that one's going to be denied away. This one's off to the side, and Mallow here as the time ticking down in game 1. Both these teams, they've gotten on the board here, but how are we going to see someone break through and break through for the lead here in the end of this game 1?
Well, you know what you have to do sometimes, you know, regardless of what league you're in, Provisional, Titan, you got to get a little creative with your touches, whether it's faking, you know, and have some comms up, or just an accidental whiff that we call faking in Provisional, or, you know, just some sort of fantastic pass that just clears, you know, across the pitch, and your teammates there to knock it in.
Oh, and look at that. Speaking of across the pitch, and teammate knocks it in. Tyler is going to pass that one across, and Ace is just going to clang it over the defenders. And Mallory went from a sure open net there on the other side for Brawlers back to calamity for Wolfpack. And now the final 10 seconds here of game 1. The Brawlers going to have to make a miracle happen here. This one bouncing back into the zone, an opportunity, but Crim Reaper not the touch he was looking for. Goes right to Exiled as this one into the corner. Time ticking away as this one sent to the corner. The Brawlers gonna look to keep it up here in the air, trying to take it the length of the pitch. Wolfpack is up. Salty is gonna find a touch. But this ball actually gonna stay in the air. Time trying to get underneath it, but a dunk comes through. And the Wolfpack, they come from behind there in game 1, and they take a 1-0 series lead.
Oh man, that was a good series. There's hardly any mistakes that anyone capitalized on, but the ones that were easy, you know, with the counterattack, with the second goal to, you know, to basically the person, I forgot who it was, if it was Time or Zone there, but you had one teammate block the other from essentially having a better angle and saving it. And I don't know if that was just a lack of communication or panicking or what, but it was a good matchup there for game 1, and I suspect we'll see the same for game 2 here.
Yeah, honestly, it was a very close one there. You know, a couple mistakes were made, you know, from both sides. But, you know, they powered through, and Wolfpack, they did what they had to do. They're scoring with 10 seconds remaining to take that lead and take that game 1 victory. And now as we head into this next one here, waiting on them to join up here. But as we head into this game 2, Mallow, that's the Brawlers here. They gotta find their way back into this one. You know, their only goal that they had there was, you know, just kind of a whiff from Wolfpack. So really, you know, I don't know how they're gonna break through here.
Yeah, I think it's basically you got to get down to tightening up the rotations, getting a little bit better on your spacing and your positioning, in order to not, you know, cram yourself and get into a situation where you block teammates and such. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for the Brawlers here. So, or was that right? Yeah, Brawlers. So that's kind of what I would think what they would need to do, but we'll see how the jitters after game one are gone or not.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see here as we're heading into this one. And yeah, these two teams, they have been pretty even though all season long. In both the regular season matchups, they actually split their regular season matchup with Wolfpack winning 3-1 in their first matchup, and then the Brawlers came back with a sweep in their second matchup. So both these teams, they know how to win against each other. And look at this pass coming through, but Ace just a little bit too quick for him to handle. There is another great opportunity. The Wolfpack are continuing to find him here, and a minute in, and Wolfpack just keep the opportunities going here. It's an open net, and Exiled is gonna put it in.
The double commit. There's the panicking and the communication error right there. Oh, actually, it looked like there was a backflip that happened, but from the other angle, it looked like something else. So you gotta be careful on the positioning there, because that's exactly what killed him that time.
Yeah, misposition, and Wolfpack yet again, they've been able to capitalize here on the Brawlers here as they lead 1-0 now in game number 2. Brawlers put a shot on time with a banger, but Ace just enough to get that one. This one sent down. It might be another opportunity. Exiled off the backboard, and Wolfpack looking to find the follow here. And the Brawlers going to be able to clear it out this time. Looking for something here. Can he take it in the midfield? Trying to pop it up. Ace is there, but just enough to get a touch to send it off to the side there. This ball popped up. Gonna get by Krim. It's just zone in net. Can they find something there? This ball gonna pop up high, but it's gonna be blocked away as the Brawlers once again looking to find the counterattack, but it just seems Mallow right now. You talked a little bit about at the end of that game one about these tight rotations, and it seems like Wolfpack just have the tighter rotations right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You saw about 30 seconds ago how you had one man in the front of the net and one in the back, and they stayed that way and was Oh, what a save there, and was patient. Oh, what another save! Oh my gosh! And they were able to keep their patience in, and I think that's another step that the Brawlers need to take now, is just add a little bit of patience to their game.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times, there's probably some nerves here, some panic, but sometimes you gotta be patient, and sometimes you have to attack like Zone Killer did right there.
Yeah, it's the 1-2 punch with Time and Killer. Oh wait, it was a block there. I thought it was Time hitting it against the back wall. I am blind. But anyway, it was still a nice 1-2 punch there. Good follow up, and way to be aware.
Yeah, that was a good attack. Zone Killer, the captain, making his presence known here, and here comes Time looking for another one. Shot on the net, and the Brawlers are back in business.
You know what? That is the true 1-2 punch there. Brawlers showing why they have been as effective as they have been this season. Fantastic offensive plays right there, and I suspect we're only going to see them get a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe coming through those nerves here, especially being the Provisional League. I'm sure this may be the biggest stage they've ever played on in their Rocket League careers here. So a lot of nerves are bound to be around here, but so far, looks like both these teams have been able to overcome them at different times, and the Brawlers now find themselves in the lead with about 2 minutes remaining. Is this ball gonna fall through the Wolfpack corner? Salty now taking this one up, trying to get in the midfield. A huge demo comes through. Could be an opportunity. The ball floating towards the net, but it's going to be sent just away to the side there as this ball again blocked. Salty looking to stay with it, trying to shoot it towards the net. Off the backboard, dangerous ball, but Zone Killer, a nice touch. Is this one sent down, but is it just off? It is just a little bit wide, but a couple of good opportunities. There's some good power. These two teams, Mallow, they are really using this backboard to its effectiveness here.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to bang the ball and try to get some sort of backboard or even corner touches here to try and get it past the defenders, and it's starting to work as shown there. Ace getting that goal from the corner bounce.
Yeah, nice one there as Salty pops it up and Crim Reaper just right on it, but Ace just over the top. A little too much momentum taking Crim into the back of the net there, and Wolfpack come right back to tie it up here and looking to take a 2-0 series lead. And now the Brawlers might be in a little bit of danger here, Mallow, as this is your postseason life. This is, it's not a must-win game yet, but you do not want to put yourself in reverse sweep territory here with your postseason lives on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not saying that it wouldn't happen, but the likelihood of you reverse sweeping and winning the series definitely goes down as you're further into the playoffs. So it's provisional, so almost anything can happen, especially down here. But you don't want to be in that situation at all, regardless.
Yeah, you don't want to have to put yourself in that situation. Although we have already, Mallow, we have seen a reverse sweep in the play-ins happen on Monday, where Assassins came back against Ascension as this one an opportunity, but not gonna quite find the back of the net here. Is this ball still floating around? Gonna be sent down towards the net, and with 0 seconds, time the midfield snipe to win the game.
Time said it is time to end this game. No OT here. And what a boomer by Time right there. Just great boomer past everyone. Man, that was a little bit unexpected. I thought maybe one of those guys that was in the back there would have been able to get a touch, but as you can see, was not the case.
Yeah, I thought for a second there that, I thought it was going to be saved for sure, but you saw it just kind of find its way through, and that's a huge win right there to tie the series up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what the Brawlers needed to get into this game 3, not to go down 2. And just as we talked about, I was going to say it if it were to happen. You don't want to be down that momentum going into game 3. So this definitely helps them continue to keep that momentum going forward into Game 3 and the rest of the series.
Yeah, and that was 2 big goals from Time there to really propel his team to victory. And right when it seemed like Wolfpack they had the punch to them, you saw the battle back from the Brawlers, which is good to see. That's the one thing. Once you get to this point here, it's all about how you battle back. And the Brawlers, they had some battle in them there as. We're going to be heading into Game 3. And Mallow, what do you want to see in Game 3 from either of these 2 teams as we reset the lobby here to get everyone back in?
One thing that I'd like to see is from both teams, maybe a little bit better. More on the Brawlers than the Wolfpack, but they're both guilty of it. Is stick to the basics. Let's keep the rotations simple. Let's calm. Let's keep that up. And if you go down a couple of goals, don't let it affect you, because this is going to go to match point, and you don't want to be the team that loses and have to win 2 in a row. So right now, if I'm either team, I'm saying, all right, guys, let's reset. It's a 0-0. It's kind of like almost a sudden death type situation where we need to just go ahead and win 2 in a row and get this series and go to the next round.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like despite all of that here, it looks like there's going to be a roster change here on the side of the Brawlers. Mallow, they're going to bring in Scars for Crim Reaper.
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising. I know Crim is a family man, so it could be something with that personal and just had to head out. But either way, I think Crim did all right. I didn't see he wasn't mentioned much, but I didn't really see much that he did wrong. It was just that his teammates did more of, I guess you could say, it was more of a third man than anything there.
Yeah.
But I don't really know much about Scars here, so I don't know if you can tell us anything about him. Other than him scoring this goal.
Well, we can say that for sure, Mallow. He's making an impact here. And look at this one, but that one is set up by Mr. Time itself as he puts that one right in the midfield, finds the demo, opens up that space, and you know, hey Mallow, when you're coming into a postseason match, your team is counting on you to perform, you know, that's how you want to step in and put the goal in.
Oh yeah, especially when you weren't playing in the beginning, and you know there's no telling how much actual warm up Scars has as he's about to get an as he time with a fantastic follow up there. Good comms, it looks like.
Yeah, Scars gets that one to Wolfpack. They try to get it out, but time just enough to get that touchdown into the ground and into the corner of the net. And the Brawlers really kind of putting it on here now, 2-0. And it's the Wolfpack who seemed so solid, Mallow, at the beginning with their rotations. Everything seemed good, but now you're starting to double commit a little bit more, and the Brawlers are really just getting this pressure up.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning here. There's good rotation right there. That's exactly what I was talking about for defense right there. You get the good defense, you're able to keep it clear out of your net. And you know, what I was saying in the very beginning is if you go down 2-0, 3-0 like that, you don't want to let that get to you. You got to go ahead and say, all right, don't worry about it. It's just unfortunate. We got this. Let's go and let's finish this game out.
Yeah, definitely. Mental is huge, Mal, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, as we see here now the Wolfpack is actually on the offensive, so it's exactly what I was just saying as a scores a goal right there, and the Wolfpack are now in the game again.
Yeah, they are. This one just lofted up, and you know, miss comes through, and time wasn't quite ready for it. But you know, this is what you see in Provisional League, Mallow. It does happen. This is the lowest league in Nemesis, but mistakes happen. But the Wolfpack, they are happy to take it, and you know, they're going to bring themselves within one here, and an opportunity, a shot attempt just off the post there. A close one coming through from them, but yeah, right back in it here despite the deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't look like they're letting up either so far. So the I was almost gonna say the wrong team there as far as which one Scars was on. Oh, so many whiffs here right in front of the goal. Over Ace. Is that just in? No, Salty's there to save it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a reason these guys are the 7 and 8 seed. Technically, I mean, not to hate on them, but the two worst teams in Provisional, just record-wise here. But, you know, so far, they have made some big plays, but they've also made some big mistakes, as that one time almost puts it through there. But the Brawlers gonna hold on to their lead here with 2 minutes remaining. The Wolfpack looking to tie it up in this crucial game 3. Winner will put themselves on match point here and a win away from moving on to Saturday night and keeping their hopes alive. And Zone Killer trying to get this one. It falls in midfield. Salty looking out for Ace. Ace is finding the bump, looking for the redirect. Gonna get up the sidewall, trying to give chase to it. Gonna put a little bit towards the net there. Scars gonna find a 50. This one pops up. Wolfpack are there. Double commit from Brawlers, though. This one, when he popped up, Ace sends it in. Time. Gonna bang it down here. Wolfpack trying to get up to this one, and good read there by Exiled. As this one in midfield, looking for a teammate. Gonna get it by one. Salty trying to get it around. A good attempt there. But Mallow with a minute and a half remaining. The Wolfpack, they got to start turning on the pressure here, and they're doing it right now. As Ace puts it home.
Yeah, I was going to say they're putting the pressure on right now, and all they got to do is just get it centered somehow, and that's exactly what Salty did. Salty centered the ball right to Ace, and Ace was able to just do a little pop shot right into the goal.
Yeah, that's all you got to do sometimes. Just get a little light touch over the last offender. And the Wolfpack, they have come back here in this game 3. We're all tied up here. As this one sent high off the backboard. Time. Put it high. A shot attempt. Zone Killer can't quite find it, though. This one off to the corner. Scars finds 2 50s. This ball pops up here. Another 50 comes through. Time on that touch, looking to get in midfield off the backboard. Opportunity, but Zone Killer so close to putting that one in. Could have given them the lead, but instead it's now the Wolfpack on the attack. This one in the Brawlers zone. Wolfpack keep this one in. Salty sending it up high. Zone Killer just able to find a touch there. This one on the dribble, gonna fake it by one, trying to look for the teammate, but not a lot of boost to work with. And now it's Salty taking it down. Oh no, a huge miss on the backboard, and it falls through.
I like the play there that Time did. It was great. Unfortunately, he was the last man back, so there was not a lot that they would have been able to do if he missed, and it was just slowly rolling in. That's one of the toughest things for me is that back wall and trying to jump properly. So, it was a good attempt by Time, but unfortunately, it cost them a goal.
Yeah, and that's the danger of being the third man back. On the backboard is this
Oh!
ball. Oh my goodness, dangerous. And they can't clear it away. Ace makes them pay.
I think there's a force field around the Brawlers right now in the ball because it seems like they can't touch it in front of the goal. I don't know if there's like this major lag spike or something they're getting. We might have to report this server for that, but but it's unfortunate. So now looking at this with 20 seconds left, the Brawlers have got to think of something to do different next game to take it to a game 5.
Yeah, with the time ticking away, down by 2, they need an absolute miracle, and that is not going to help them there. As this ball to the side, and that will do it there. Wolfpack come through with the answer to take the series lead. They are now 1 win away from advancing to Saturday night. And now all eyes turn to the Brawlers there. They made the roster change, but couldn't come up with the victory there in game 3, Mallow. And now it's all on them. What can they do in this game number 4?
Well, I would say the first thing they need to do is not panic in front of the goal, because that definitely happened when the ball was just floating in front of it. It goes back to rotations and stuff too that we've talked about. Is just keep calm, go with the rotation, stick to it, and you'll be able to clear it if you do those things. So if the Brawlers do that, we'll be able to see hopefully a game 5 as long as they're good on the defensive side or offensive side.
Yeah, we'd love to see back-to-back game 5s, and love to see if the Brawlers have a little bit more of that 0-second magic that we saw from Time at the end of game 2. They got that game win. That was their only game win thus far. But now we're heading to Forbidden Temple, where with the way Mallow Provisional is, I think this is just the map we need here for some more chaos here on Forbidden Temple.
Yeah, Forbidden Temple is one of the most chaotic things I think I've ever seen in Nemesis, and I don't know why. I don't know if the temple is so menacing in the background that people just freak out with that pinch by Scars there. He's like, that doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect me at all, other than letting me score.
Yeah, that is a huge goal to put things in the lead there for Brawlers, who got to bring this one back. And Scars, with the sub in the middle of the series, he's had 2 big goals thus far, and none bigger than that one to give him the early lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And, after the previous game, you might think that maybe the sub in wasn't a good thing, but, so far, oof. Just those corner reads like that are so tough sometimes, and it's not something I like seeing myself. I cry for them.
Yeah, that one is tough. It's I remember back when I was a little bit lower, those corner reads, they even today sometimes there are still some bounces off the corners that just you're not really expecting, and that one, it caught the Brawlers a little flat-footed there. And now the Wolfpack, they tie things up here, but this ball dangerous in front of their net, and here comes Zone Killer to make them pay.
This is one thing you definitely, never want to do on the backboard is just barely touch it. But sometimes you accidentally do it, and in this case, brush it off. It's fine. Got plenty of time in this game. Just continue marching forward.
They got to keep marching forward, and there they go, Scars. I think he got the fake through Mallow.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a fake, maybe a prediction for the 50 as well. And, either way, it was a great play, and just the best way you could play that with the best outcome regardless.
Yeah, that was definitely the way to play it. Either find the 50 or, in that case, find the goal here. And now a 3-1 lead here, only a minute in, and the goals have been flying in on Forbidden Temple as the Brawlers take the lead. Look at this play. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Scars have
goodness.
a game. Grab the hats as he's got his 3rd goal.
I think Scars may actually be warmed up now. I think that might have been his issue. Who knows? But exactly what I was saying at the beginning of the game. Brawlers just needed to get back on offense, and that's exactly what they've done so far in this little bit over a minute in this game.
Yeah, and a huge one right there as Scars has put on a clinic in this game number 4. The Brawlers looking to force this game 5 and keep their postseason hopes alive. And Scars has been the man that they needed. He's trying to find another 50 here. Zone Killer diving through this ball in the corner, trying to get it out there. It's going to be sent down. Ace is waiting over there. Be careful, as that one is going to be sent out there off to the side. But Wolfpack not quite able to capitalize. And Mallow, if you're Wolfpack here, there is an eternity in this game. You've given up a lot of goals, but 3 minutes still left.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is provisional, so it's very possible to come back from this. You don't want to get relaxed and just play boomer ball or anything like that. You want to try and keep that ball away more than just booms. And so as we see time here with pretty much an open goal. Yep. As we see time with an open goal there, getting that, I think that puts everyone with a goal now. Yes, it does. So now everyone has scored on offense with the Brawlers, so they have pretty much, I guess, heard what I was saying at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they all, stepped up. You needed them to step up here, and so far they have, as we're nearing the halfway point, and it's a 5-1 margin here in Game 4, and the Wolfpack, they are going to need a miracle to try to bring this one back. But honestly, with the way Forbidden Temple is, we have seen some crazier things. And it is Provisional League after all on Forbidden Temple. So, if you got the recipe, this might be it here. Is this one? Oh, Scar is going to clear it off to the corner. I thought it might have been a little bit of a disaster there, but it's going to work out for the moment as they send it down off the backboard. Here comes Zone Killer looking for something. This ball popped up high. Scars, can he find this read? Not quite, but his Zone Killer right behind him to put it in. 6-1 now.
Oh man, we were just barely past the halfway point, and there's already been 7 total goals scored. So with that many goals scored about halfway, you got to say to yourself as the Wolfpack, hey, it's still possible for us to do it. Let's just get tighter on defense, and let's do those counterattacks because they are pushing up hard.
Yeah, the Wolfpack, they have been able to score in bunches. We saw at the end of this last game, number 3 there, they scored a few goals in quick succession at the very end to take that victory. But they're going to need a couple here. Is this one shot towards the backboard? But the Brawlers, they're definitely going to be trying to lock it down on defense. As time now on the dribble. Can try to find it through this ball. Can be 50 to cross. Ace on this one. Looking to make it happen. Shooting towards net, but Zone Killer locked down on the defense. Wolfpack really diving in here, trying to get this one through. But it's going to be banged down in a minute and a half remaining. And Mallow, it might be getting to the point where you just got to try to get any momentum here for this Game 5 to try to bring it back. And, of course, avoid the Brazil.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take some momentum into the next game because at this point, you know this game's over. I don't see how they could score 5 goals in that short of amount of time. Not going to say it's impossible, but it's just pretty much almost unlikely at this point. So you want to score at least 1 or 2, try to get the momentum back, and then go full steam ahead in Game 5.
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to have to be looking to regain here as we're down to a minute. The Brawlers have just put on a clinic here with 6 goals, led by Scars there. He parries this one away to the corner. Scars now taking this one up, trying to make it happen, sending down the midfield there. This ball can be hit off to the side. As Zone Killer send to the backboard, looking for this read here. Can't quite find it though. The shot attempt going high off the backboard. Another foul. Scars trying to put it home, but he cannot. As that one gonna go wide, but fortunately for the Brawlers, they didn't quite need it here. Is the final 20 seconds. This ball in the midfield. And the Brawlers looking to shut this down, and they will be sent into a Game 5, our second Game 5 of the night, Mallow. And there is none bigger than this one here in the 7-8 play-in matchup here. It's going to be a win or go home matchup. You win this next game, or you are done for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the entire play-ins that I've done this the play-in from Monday as well, I think both times I casted, they ended up like Game 4, Game 5 OT or something, and they just were intense matches. So I don't know if I should cast more or something, so that way we start seeing OTs like this, because it's been intense, especially down here in Provisional. But oh man, Wolfpack, you guys shake that one off and do what you did, in game one. I do want to say, one fact here: Scars is actually one of the lowest salary players on Brawlers, tied with Krim. So I was actually surprised to see that when I was looking at the sheet.
Yeah, no, him and Krim are tied in MMR, but I mean, Scars stepped up when they needed him most here in this game number 4, Mallow. And now as we head to Champions Field, it's game 5. And Mallow, how are Wolfpack gonna bounce back here in game 5 after just getting completely obliterated in game 4?
They got to do what they were doing previously, and I haven't seen a lot of it. Is more of the infield passing, more of the boom passing downfield, counter attacks, things like that. Because one of the other things too I've noticed that they need to look out for is the bumps, because Time, I think, pretty much set up all of Scar's goals there with some bumps and demos, or at least was pretty close to being the difference maker. So, both defense and offense there, you just gotta be a little bit more aware.
Yeah, definitely so. And Wolfpack, they have had their share of opportunities. And here's another one right here with Zone Killer on the goal line, a huge play. And now we're deep into this game 5, 30 seconds now into this one, and these two teams, their postseason hopes are on the line. A huge whiff comes out. Zone Killer can't connect here as Ace trying to get it through, but it's denied away. And you have to wonder, are the nerves there? This game 5, you win or you go home here. As Wolfpack, they are the ones with the early aggression, but this one pinched down, but just a little bit off to the side there. And I wonder, Mal, Wolfpack, they started off with the aggression. Is this the formula they need to take this game 5?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they were giving them being the Brawlers too much space, and I think they were allowed to pretty much do what they wanted. Like right here, Scars with the miss was probably a goal right there, and they just got to continue being aggressive.
Yeah, definitely so. It looks like the key to victory here, as they have had the aggression early. This ball into the Brawlers zone. The Brawlers have not really been able to escape. Salty popping this one up, trying to find a 50. But Time able to clear it down. Zone Killer not quite able to connect to Scars into the corner. This ball sent out. Wolfpack gonna clear it away for the moment. So we're locked 0-0 here. Scars looking for the shot, but Ace on the goal line gonna make the touch. Exiled has to get up, able to clear it away, but that was a banger shot there for the Brawlers. Could have been dangerous, but the Wolfpack solid on the defensive end, and now looking to attack, but Time is gonna shut it down for the moment. Salty up in the midfield. It's not gonna go here as we're 2 minutes gone by in this game. Mala, both these teams, they've had their opportunities, but the defense just holding on strong enough for both.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that cut that Salty did there to keep that ball on the side of the Brawlers there, and keep it in on their side of the pitch, so that way they could get that offensive momentum going to where they can possibly get the ball in. So that, I don't know if it was a comms thing or awareness, but plays like that is what's going to make this game 5 difference.
Yeah, that's going to be the make or break moments here. How can you survive on these rotations? Who is going to make the big play here? And it might be right here by Ace. He takes it by the defense and strikes first for the Wolfpack.
I saw the double commit, but with the angle, I couldn't tell who was who there, but it looked like someone charged up too soon and left the goal wide open.
Yeah, that one, a brutal mistake there, Mallow, as the Wolfpack, they are going to strike first. And with this game being as close as it has been here, that could be the difference maker. But, we saw an offensive explosion from Brawlers last game.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can't count them out just yet. They definitely can give put the punching gloves on and score some goals, get some hat tricks, and make this game a blowout. So definitely do not want to let up on the gas if you're the Wolfpack.
Yeah, definitely not, as they find themselves in a 1-0 lead, a minute 45 remaining here. The Brawlers, they got to look back for the offense here. A shot towards the net, but Gonna be sent off to the corner. This ball popping up high. It could be dangerous. Zone killer coming through, looking for the shot. It's off the backboard. Scars coming in. The big man, but Salty a little bit stronger on the goal line. A massive save.
Yeah, what a save, especially the patience there by the Wolfpack with time in there bumping the living daylights out of, I believe it was Exiled. Just absolute patience by Salty there to be able to get up there and make that save and clear it out to give the Wolfpack a chance on offense.
Yeah, no bigger save for their season here than that one right there by Salty. As now we're down to the final minute. The Brawlers, they're put on the pressure. Off the corner, Zone Killer not wanting to commit quite yet, but this ball pops up high. Could be dangerous. Here comes Salty looking for this one. High off the backboard. Wolfpack trying to find the follow, but only off to the corner. So now it's back in. Zone Killer can't quite connect. Scars just enough to make that touch on the dribble. But Exiled gonna dive in, and the time ticking now. Brawlers gonna try to send this one out. It's popped up. The Wolfpack, they're gonna find a touch to go though. Time gonna find the stop. Scars on this one, trying to dribble in. 30 seconds. The ball popped up in midfield, but Ace is gonna find the clear now, and the Brawlers really put on the back foot here as the time is ticking away. Their season is on the line here. They got to make something happen. It's Scars sending it down. Salty just waiting back there. The Brawlers trying to dive in. That one's going to get by Scars. Final 10 seconds now. This one in the midfield. Zone Killer finds the 50 and the demo. This ball popping up. Going to be cleared away. The Brawlers need one more 0-second goal. Can they find the Hail Mary on their zone? On the dribble, they can't find it. And the Wolfpack, they hold on in a thrilling Game 5.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't in overtime, but as close as that game was, I think that's a great second there because that was some good gameplay by both teams there. And you know, if you're a Brawlers fan or if you're on the Brawlers, you hate to see that, especially after the season you had, and then climbing back into this game here or this series here, and then just losing it like that. It's not a good feeling, but you got to hold your head up high and be ready for next season.
Yeah, definitely so. And yeah, it's not the way you want to end things off, but they gave it a good try there, and they pushed the distance. But it's the defending champions. They keep their hopes alive for one more night at least. They're going to be playing on Saturday night in that play-in match number 3. Going to be taking on Agility, a win or go home there in that one. So that one's going to be a thriller. And speaking of thrillers, we have another exciting one coming up next. We are going to be heading over in just a moment to the Challenger League play-in tournament. We have Race versus Flame, two very, very solid teams here. They are looking to see who's going to take the victory and head to Saturday night to take on Ascension. It is going to be a good one, so make sure you guys stick around, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.